Yeah, of course. Avinash, can you see my screen and are you comfortable with the voice, how I am talking now?
Yeah, Shankar.
Yeah, pretty good. So yesterday, who is the fourth person who joined? Sandeep, Praveen, Avinash, and looks like someone else also had joined yesterday. According to Cherry, it's 4 people. Any idea who is the other one?
Anil.
Okay, fine. So, Avinash, just give you a heads up, like what we are going to discuss today is about VMware Snapshot and VMware Clone. So we are going to start up with Snapshot. So I'm just kicking off the class now. So just let me know, did anyone heard about what a snapshot means? Or just give me an idea. If I'm saying something called a snapshot, what comes in your mind first? Leave about VMware. I'm talking about in general. In your life, if someone is calling you, what is a snapshot? What will you think immediately?
I mean, I have worked on snapshots from a storage perspective. It's a point-in-time copy of your file system or something like that.
Okay. How about Praveen and Sandeep? What you guys will think? What comes in your mind first when you are hearing about it, where it's called snapshot?
It's something like copying.
Okay, something like copying.
The current, yeah, the current one.
Okay, fine. How about Sandeep?
Yeah, Shankar. I also feel the same, like copying something, taking the same thing again.
Okay, fine. Yeah, but it's quite similar to that. So it's just when you are going to take a picture of you or your close relatives, what will you do? What will you call it as? Can I take a snap of yours or can I take a snapshot of you? So it is a similar kind of view here. So a snapshot is nothing but, as Avinash said, it is a backup of a device or a backup of a virtual machine at a point of time. Let me explain you in detail now. A snapshot is considered to be a temporary backup of a virtual machine at a point of time. Just please be noted, as I said, snapshot is considered to be a temporary backup solution. Snapshot can't be considered as a permanent backup. Always snapshot should be a temporary backup. Please be note that particular point and ensure you will follow this guideline till the last minute you will be working in VMware. Snapshot will be taken only if you are considering, okay, I need a temporary backup and this backup needs to be there for next an hour or 2. Then snapshot is the best solution. And keep on reiterating it. Consider snapshot as a temporary backup. Next, what snapshot will do? When you are taking a snapshot of a virtual machine, the virtual machine will freeze in the background, but it will not affect your performance or your virtual machine performance or virtual machine's business continuity. In the background, it will consider it as, okay, when I'm clicking on create snapshot, at that particular point of time, what are the configurations or what are the data has been available on that virtual machine will be taken and copied to an alternate location, which is called delta location. So once you are creating a snapshot means, let us assume at this moment the time being 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now I am going to take a snapshot of a virtual machine. So the snapshot has been taken now. After 9:15, okay, now Praveen is going to create some files or copying some files from a different location to this virtual machine. He completed his copy. Then after Praveen has been completed, then Praveen logged off the machine. Then Sandeep logged into the machine. And he had seen some more Word document has to be created. Okay, he is going to create some Word document. And later on, Avinash came into the machine and he sees couple of new files has been added, but he didn't want these two files to be present on that machine. But what I know here, we had took a snapshot. And when we took the snapshot at 9:15. After 9:15, both Praveen and Sandeep had done some changes in my virtual machine. And if Avinash feels these changes were happened after taking a snapshot, means he can go back to the previous state of the virtual machine at 9:15 because he had a snapshot. So what he will do is he will click on revert to current snapshot. So what are the data, newly added data which Praveen and Sandeep had created on this virtual machine will be erased now from the virtual machine. And it will reach at the point of time where you took the snapshot of the virtual machine. Are you guys getting my point?
Yeah, Shankar.
Yeah, of course. So that's how it will work as a snapshot in layman language. When you deep dive into VMware theoretical stuff, VMware theory, what VMware will say is, once you are creating a snapshot, it will create an alternate layer to your virtual machine. And what are the new data you are placing it? After creating a snapshot, these data will be written on this new layer which has been added to the snapshot.
Yeah, Shankar, I just got it out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if Anil has to send back the data for before what we done, then Anil has to have a snapshot of that, right? Previously.
Not required. Not required. Not
okay.
required.
And
Yeah.
and the second thing.
Speaking in theoretical basis in verbal. Now I am going to show you guys in pictorial format, and that will make you guys understand a bit more.
And the second thing is, if when I come back in the example, when I come back and if I want the data which I loaded and which Sandeep loaded everything, then what I should do then?
Definitely, you can't never retrieve those data if Avinash has been reverted the snapshot. That is the most critical thing here. Hence, once I am completing this pictorial presentation, I will prompt to the next level of doing how to take a snapshot and what are the 4 different options in a snapshot. What are the best practices you have to follow while taking a snapshot? And the most important things are the best practices of creating a snapshot. Whatever you ask is a valid and justifiable question. But before asking this question, whomever took the snapshot, he has to follow few best practices. If those best practices will not be followed, then what, as an infrastructure guy, I will say, you just forget your data. If you are going to take a snapshot, you have to follow those best practices. Otherwise, say no to your data. Which one you will prefer? Will you give your priority for your data, or you will ignore your process? If you follow your process, you can keep your data as it is. So always take the right process in your hand. So leave all aside. Now we are going to discuss about how a snapshot works in a pictorial format. So this is going to be my virtual machine. Hope everyone can see my paint screen, right? And this is my virtual machine. And let us assume this virtual machine having a total size of 50 GB. Let me place that data here. So this virtual machine total size is 50 GB. And among this 50 GB, at this moment, now it is 9:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At this moment, this virtual machine consists of 20 GB of data. Just please be sure whatever I am talking now, because all these will help you to understand how a snapshot works. So now this virtual machine consists of 20 GB of data among the 50 GB which we have been provisioned to the virtual machine. Hope you guys know what is the provision space and what is the used space, right? Provision space is the total disk space which you are allocating to a virtual machine, and used space is what are the number of data, or the total size of data which is available in the virtual machine, and which can be easily find out when you go to a virtual machine tab. See here you can see a couple of tabs. One is the provision space, the other one is the use space. Provision space means the total allocated disk space. When you go to right click, edit settings, then move forward to the virtual machine with hard disk. Here you can see the total disk space is the provision size. But whatever the data which you had been added into your virtual machine, it will be considered as used space. So let us come back to our pictorial representation. At this moment, I am going to take a snapshot of my virtual machine. So what it will happen? It will create an alternate copy of your virtual machine. There will be a line here, and it will create an alternate copy of your virtual machine. And what it will do? And it also will have the same amount of data which has been in this 20 GB. But what it will do, it will not have the exact data. What it will do, it will create few pointers, means reference values of this data. Like the same kind of 20 GB, it will have some reference values like a small column with OK. Why this pointers has been created? Let me tell you. After you are creating a snapshot, if any of the existing data you are going to change, then what it will do, it will add these new data on this reference point of your snapshot. It will never write the new data on your original hard disk. It will always add or write the new data on the snapshot disk. And we will call the snapshot disk as delta disk. Just remember the term. The snapshot disk will be called as delta disk. And whatever the new data you are going to write on your virtual machine will be written on this delta disk. Are you guys getting my point? Now, the new data which are already, the data which are already available inside this 20 GB will be written on the reference points of the delta. What will happen if I am going to write entirely a new data? It will be written. Okay, let us see. I am going to write a 5 GB of data, and which is not at all present in your previous state of your virtual machine. Then it is going to write those 5 GB here, because these data were not at all present in your original state of your virtual machine. So those new files and folders, like as I said earlier, Praveen is going to copy some new files, or somebody is going to create a Word document. These newly created files and folders will be written entirely in your snapshot disk, which will be called as delta disk. So now, what will be your total size of your virtual machine? You have 50 GB allocated initially for your virtual machine. Apart from the 50 GB, now I created 5 GB of new data. So the total storage space what I required is 50 GB plus the newly added 5 GB. Even though my total VM size is 50 GB, but the total storage space it requires is 55 GB. Why? I had created a snapshot, and what are the new data I had been created? These data will be adding into my snapshot delta disk, and it is never going to be added into my original virtual machine. Are you guys getting my point? And once you are adding a new data, what it will do, once after a snapshot has been created, this will create a chain. Means a connection between your original virtual machine and your snapshot disk. Original virtual machine disk called VMDK and snapshot delta disk called delta.vmd. So what will be this name of this one? When you see here, this will be virtual machine name dot VMDK. But at the same time, after you are creating a snapshot, means you will be see your virtual name as VM space delta dot VMDK. Also, there will be a machine called virtual machine hyphen 0001 dot VMDK. Once after you are creating a snapshot, other than virtual machine.vmdk, you will see two new VMDK files. What are those? This 0001.vmdk is going to be your new virtual machine disk until the snapshot will be present on your virtual machine. Then, what is this delta? As I said earlier, whenever you are creating or changing some files, the existing stuff, it is going to create some reference values. So what a delta disk will do? A delta disk will store all these reference pointers. All the reference pointers where your original data were there and what are the new data you have been added. And this is called change blocking traffic, which is called CBT. In whichever block the changes have been happened, which will be absorbed and be stored in the delta disk. So why a delta disk is available? A delta disk will be used to absorb the changes in the block of your disk, of your hard disk. And what is the virtual machine -0001.vmdk? This is the virtual machine disk where all your new data will be stored. And let me note it up, all these are not the internal disk. These are additional storage space which will be consumed from your storage attached to your ESXi host, not your virtual machine. These are the additional storage space which will be absorbed from your SAN or NFS or your local data store. Consider this space will be taken from your data store. So, hence I said in the initial stage, snapshots should be taken only as a temporary backup. Why? Once you are going to take a snapshot, what are the changes you are going to do inside the virtual machine will be added into your snapshot delta file. And let us assume you have a 50 GB of virtual machine. You took a snapshot today at August 20th, 9:30 p.m. And you are not going to delete your snapshot or revert your snapshot. Ignore the terminology. Okay. You are not going to delete your snapshot till tomorrow. And Sandeep comes here and he is adding 20 GB of new data. Praveen comes in. He is adding another 10 GB of data. Now there is newly added 30 GB and my original space is 50 GB. So what should be the total size now here? 50 GB plus newly added 30 GB. So the total space which will consume from the data store is 80 GB. Even though you are provisioning 50 GB, you are taking 80 GB of data space from your data store. Is it the right way to do? Not at all. See, I am analyzing some stuff, analyzing and sizing my virtual machine with 50 GB. Because of a wrong conception of taking a snapshot, you are using 80 GB of storage space, which is something wrong. You have to consider this as a wrong concept. So please be sure if you are taking a snapshot has to be preserved to the maximum of 12 to 24 hours. Are you guys getting my point? Snapshot should be preserved for a maximum time range of 12 to 24 hours after taking a snapshot. If you are taking a snapshot and preserving it for more than 24 hours, then you are risking your virtual machine. In what are the ways? One, you are creating new files, new data, and once it is reaching So you are adding 50 more GB. So the total space is 100 GB. Then let us assume your data store is getting filled up. Once your data store is getting filled up, even though you had been provisioned other virtual machines with enough space, your virtual machine gets freeze and this virtual machine will be moving from powered on state to power off state. So you are risking your virtual machine availability. If you are keeping your virtual machine for a longer period of time and you are continuously adding up new data, then your virtual machine at a particular stage, your virtual machine will move to shutdown or powered off state. Whether any VMware administrator will happy to see his running virtual machine is going to a powered off state? Never. It is not at all advisable. If you are going to do it, I am 100% sure your IT manager will not give you any single chance. He will immediately fire you out of the job. So, the first best practice a VMware administrator has to take place is not to keep your snapshot for more than 12 to 24 hours. And adding upon, I will give you a best practical example. Here. When we will take a snapshot, let us assume now Anil had created a virtual machine, he had done some changes and he configured his virtual machine. And after configuring a virtual machine, immediately now Praveen is coming to Anil and asking, hey Anil, can we install this application in my server? Now Anil will think, I had configured my virtual machine. Oh my God, yeah, that's fine. Now it is running fine. What will happen if I am installing this application which Praveen is insisting me to install? Okay, let me take a backup. Okay, what kind of backup I have to take? Then Anil will ask Praveen, you want to install this machine, install this application on my virtual machine. And whether you have to do any testing, then Praveen is saying, no, I don't need any testing. I need to install this application and see whether this application is working. So what is happening? Once you are installing the application, you will test and see, okay, the application is working fine, then you are happy. So by that time, okay, then Anil will say to Praveen, okay, let me take a snapshot. So now Anil is going to take a snapshot of this virtual machine. Anil took the snapshot. Then as Praveen had suggested to give some files to install. So he had copied his file and Anil installed this application. And Anil will ask now Praveen, please check whether the application is working fine or not. Praveen, let's get into this virtual machine. And he is going to check whether this application is working or not. Praveen launched the application and says there is something wrong in it. Praveen feels, oh no, this is not what I was expecting. Then Praveen is coming back to Anil and asking, hey Anil, this application is not working as I expected. Can we go back to our previous state? Then Anil will say, definitely yes, Praveen. I will revert my snapshot to the previous state. So Anil is going to revert the snapshot. Once revert the snapshot happens, whatever the new files or data you had been added on the virtual machine will be completely erased. Please be noted, it will be erased and you can't ever retrieve this data. So now Anil had reverted the snapshot. Now there is no application installed. That is one point. That is case one. Let us assume in case two, Anil had installed the Praveen to install Praveen, installed the application, and now Praveen is testing. After testing, Praveen said, "Hey Anil, everything looks good, man. I'm happy. So I want this stage." Then Anil will say, "If you are happy with this current state, I am going to delete the snapshot." Okay, let us see. What will happen when you are deleting a snapshot? Once you are deleting a snapshot, all these new files of data you had been added in your delta disk or your snapshot disk, first it will be copied to your new disk. What will happen? Let me take it. Yeah. Whatever the new data you had been added into it, it will copy to your original hard disk. So let me just type it. It will copy to your original hard disk. Then, in the background, VMware will compare whether all these files have been copied. Once all the comparison gets complete and says, yes, I am good, all the files have been copied, then it will completely erase this file. Let me take it. It will, oh my God, what I am doing? I'm crazy here. Okay, this is how. Sorry guys, I'm not good at painting. So this is how it will be. It will oh my God. Sorry guys, let me try to come back. Can I minimize it?
Just undo Shankar. Undo them.
No, it's not working out with that undo. As I said, I am not going paint, but it's not the right thing. There should be some option to
On the bottom, you can see that 400%, right? Just click on that minus. It comes to 100%.
yeah, pretty good, pretty good. You helped me out. You done it for me, buddy. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot. So now, what will happen? Now I am creating where is my mouse? Is it there? Now I got it. So let me just come over from the beginning. So now I am going to delete a snapshot. So while deleting a snapshot, what first stage it will do? It will copy all the files to your copy the newly added files and folders to the original VM disk. What will happen? You will copy all the newly added files and folders to your original VM disk. Then, once the new files have been added, then it will start to compare it. Compare whether all these files have been copied. Once in the background, it will say yes. Yes. Virtual machine, I had copied all the new files and the changes made in my existing files to the original disk. Then it will start to delete or erase all these files. If you take a bigger point here, can we do an erase like that? No.
Shankar, go to select it and click delete, it goes.
Sorry?
Select it.
Yep.
No, not select all, just select it.
Okay.
Yeah. Select the whole thing and click on delete.
Yeah, probably. You might be the right person to do it. Okay. So it will delete. Now, these files will not be available now. Because all the files have been already copied it. So this process is called deleting snapshot. Means you are not going to delete your data. You will be copying your new data to your original virtual machine disk. Then you are removing. You are just removing this link. As I said earlier, when you are creating a snapshot, you are creating a link, right? This particular link will be removed. And there will not be any new disk. Only one disk. That is your virtual machine.vmdk. This is the only disk which will be available after this. And one more disadvantage I will tell you to process a long attached virtual machine. The first disadvantage is it will consume more storage space from your data store. The second place is once you are creating a snapshot and keeping it as it is and you are still running it, I will give you a simple layman example. Hey guys, you are going to wear one trouser. Means I am talking about long trouser or pants, which you can call it. Then that is your, let the primary pant is considered to be your virtual machine. Then once you are starting to wear another pant above your pant, will you feel more comfortness or you will feel some discomfortness? As per me, I will definitely feel a discomfortness. Am I right? Because I am keeping more load on myself, which is not going to give me comfortness. Similar way, when you are creating a snapshot, as I said, your original disk will be there and there will be an alternate disk. And your guest operating system or your operating system or your virtual machine or your ESXi host will always need to consider the primary disk and the delta disk. So the performance of your virtual machine will be slightly sluggish. Means the performance will be degraded in a lighter way. This is not at all accepted. So there are three disadvantages whenever you are creating a snapshot. One is it will consume the storage space from your data store. Second thing, if it is keep on growing, if you are keep on growing the storage space, at one point of time, your virtual machine will go down, means it will be going to powered off state. And the third disadvantage is it will be showing some degraded performance of your virtual machine. So in all these three aspects, VMware will say, consider snapshot as a temporary backup. Okay, you are taking a backup for 2 or 3 hours or 10 hours, then once you are testing, then you are going to delete your snapshot or revert your snapshot. Okay. Hence I am saying snapshot is a good process if you are not going to preserve it for more than 12 to 24 hours. That is a recommendation normally I used to give to all my trainees. But it is not mandatory. But it is highly recommended to delete your snapshot within 24 hours. Are you guys getting my point? And there are a couple of few questions which I have seen in the chat window. Like first question is, why do we need a snapshot? So hopefully, Anil, I might be answered your question. We are taking a snapshot of the temporary backup. Next question is, why can't we take a backup of the whole virtual machine? See, while you are taking a backup of a whole virtual machine, if a virtual machine is 50 GB, if you are taking a whole virtual machine backup, means you are again to use 50 GB immediately. Irrespective of you are adding new files or changing any data, you are going to use the entire 50 GB. But whatever change you are going to be is maybe 5 GB. For doing a 5 GB of change, why you need to use 50 GB? Definitely for per 1 GB, you are going to spend $5 or $10. So 50 GB means you are going to spend 250 GB, means $250 additional. Definitely that is, from IT perspective, from business perspective, they will definitely look into the cost aspect. So they will never say, like, I can't spend this much of cost if I have a technology which will be make use of, like whenever I am using it, I am going to use it. I am going to pay for it. Like how you do for your internet. Pay and use, right? If you are paying it, if you are using it, then you will pay it. The same way. Next, another question I had seen is, why can't you take an application backup? Again, taking an application backup is a headache for the application team. He had to go to the application, he had to configure the backup, he had to take the backup, and he had to just check out, okay, whether all this backup data has been backed up or not. He might not be in a chance to review it and validate all the data has been backed up. But when I am taking a snapshot of a virtual machine means I am more than 100% sure all this data has been backed up. So instead of taking the application backup, taking a snapshot, which will be taking a backup of that particular point of time. Hope I might have been answered all the queries which has been added in the chat box. Just give me a moment, guys. I am getting on the call. Just give me a minute. Sorry, guys. Thanks for your patience. Yep. So, where we had been set up. So, I had answered all your queries. Just let me know if you have any queries till this point. Then, going forward, now the next step, I will show you how to take a snapshot.
Yes,
how
Shankar.
to take a snapshot, how to delete a snapshot, how to revert a snapshot. But beforehand, I need from all of you, are you guys clear of the topic, or do you have any concern?
Yeah, Shankar, I have like couple of questions. Sorry, actually my laptop rebooted, so I missed like 5-10 minutes of the class. I just have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Avinash.
Yeah, first thing, like when you take a snapshot, right? You mentioned that it takes a copy of it, like say for example, if your VM data store is 60 GB, it would create a new 60 GB of space on the same data store, and would that also be read writable, or it's only read only copy?
See, the new your provision space will be read and write. Did you get my point? And your original disk will go to read only. Your original virtual machine. Let us see here. This is this machine. I'm going to edit settings. Now what is this name? Virtual machine name dot VMDK, right?
Yes.
This disk will go to read only, and whatever snapshot you are going to take, that disk is going to be read and write option. I will show you. Now we are going to take a snapshot of this virtual machine. Right click. This is how you have to take a snapshot. Right click a virtual machine, go to snapshot tab, click on take snapshot. Here I have to give you some best practices. What are those best practices? Give a relevant name. Okay, as I said earlier, Praveen requested Anil for installing an application. So he is going to mention installing a new application. This should be your first best practice. Give an appropriate name to your snapshot. Then second, in the description, you have to specify who had taken the snapshot. Taken by Anil. Next, when you can be deleted. As I said earlier, Anil will check with Praveen. Okay, Praveen, so you said you have to install the application. Once after installing this application, you say, okay, if the application works fine, I can delete it. If the application not working fine, I have to revert it. So, how long it will take for you to test your application? Then Praveen will say, okay, it will take 12 hours or 24 hours. So today I am taking it on August 20th, 9 p.m. So I will make it as date to be deleted. Yes, August 21st, 9:40 p.m. Let me tell you why we are giving this detail. First, the name will give an idea why you are taken the snapshot. Second, say you are not the only VMware admin who is going to work. You will have a team, maybe 5 or a 10 or a 15-member team. You will take a snapshot, it's fine. But after you took snapshot, there will be some other person who will be logging to the vCenter, and he will see, oh, there's a snapshot created for my virtual machine. Why the snapshot has been created? Who created the snapshot? And when is this going to be deleted? So when he logs into this machine, and if he is going to look into the snapshot manager, by that time he will understand, oh, Anil had created this snapshot. Why he has been created the snapshot? installing a new application for Praveen. Okay. Then it has been mentioned date to be deleted is August 21st. Okay. Then the other colleague will say, means let us assume it is Sandeep. Sandeep will say, okay, I am not going to delete the snapshot till August 21st, 9:40. Once that time reaches, then you will directly, Sandeep will directly get in touch with Praveen and ask, Praveen, your testing is completed or not? If it is completed, let me know, I am going to delete. Sandeep doesn't want to go back to Anil and ask, hey Anil, why did you create the snapshot? So it will give you a proper communication between your colleagues to understand why a snapshot has been created, when it has been created, and who has been created, and when you can be delete a snapshot. Hope you guys clear about this best practice. So now you have been created a snapshot, click on OK. Look at the snapshot is getting created now. So snapshot is created. As I said now, or as Avinash asked the query now. So once the snapshot is created, what I mentioned is whatever the new data will be written, it will be on the VMDK Delta file, or which is called virtual machine -0001. Let me go back again to virtual machine edit setting. Let me go back to the VMDK. Go slowly here. What I can see here. Now my virtual machine base name changed to virtual machine name hyphen a numerical value.vmdk. And from this moment onwards, whatever the new data or changes which is happening in my virtual machine will be written in this file or this VMDK. So hope I answered your question, and hope this screen will make all of you understand where the new disk will be or the new files will be written. So your snapshot disk will be play as a read and write option, and whatever the data in your original virtual machine disk will be play as only a read-only disk. Is everyone clear about this? Just say yes or no. Is everyone clear about this?
Yes, Shankar. Only thing, when you browse a data store, would that be a separate?
I will come up that aspect.
Okay.
Yes, literally, that is the next level. So I want to know, till now, did anyone have any queries? Now, Avinash asked about the next level. I am asking Anil, Praveen, and Sandeep. Any queries? Shoot out the questions right away. Don't wait for it. Just type your questions in the chat window. Okay, Anil said good. Sandeep said good. How about Praveen? Yes, of course. So it has been happened. Now you may ask a question, where did my original disk go? Why it is not displaying here? Let me show you. Now let me go to the virtual machine and see which data store it belongs to. This is the data store, local storage host 82. Now go to this browse data store. What is the name? Ubuntu 01. Look at here. You guys might be able to see there are 3 VMDK files. See, the original disk is this, and from this moment onwards, this disk will be read only. And this is going to be your read and write data disk. Are you guys clear? And till now, we didn't do any changes. But once you are doing a change, it will create another disk called virtual machine delta.vmdk. And that will be your next disk. So, Avinash, now you ask your question. Once you're browsing your data store, what you're going to see? Yeah.
Yeah, Shankar, I just had a question. Like, you mentioned that, when you take a snapshot, it creates a separate copy of it on the sorry, on the data store. So, I was under the assumption that, it will create a new set of files again, like, the VMDK, NVRAM, all those.
No.
Okay.
No. It will not create all the VM files. It will only provision a space. It will not create or it will not copy any data. It will only provision the same VMDK disk as of your original virtual machine. That now you can see here. Only this disk, and there is created a new disk with a provision size same as of your original virtual machine disk. Is everyone clear? Not only Avinash. All four are clear about this?
Yeah, Shankar, I just got it out. Like, for example, if we are using the let's assume that we are doing on a Windows system, and my Windows has Windows 7 on that,
Okay.
and I create a snapshot on that, and I just want to give a trial to Windows 8. So all this voice is going to sit on this new one or else in the old one, which
Whatever changes you are going to do means from 7 to 8 you are doing some changes, right? Installing and doing it.
Yeah.
Those will be in the delta
disk.
0001.vmdk.
Okay.
So once you install your Windows 8, then you feel this Windows 8 is bullshit. Let me move back to Windows 7. Nothing. What we will do here is right click this virtual machine. Go to snapshot. Go to snapshot manager. See this particular position, right?
Yeah.
Click on that snapshot. Click to go to. Now before go to, you see where you are here. This is your virtual machine. This is your point of time you took a snapshot, and now you are here. But once you are clicking on go to, what it is, it will give you one message. Current state of the virtual machine will be lost. Means whatever the changes you have been done after the snapshot, you are going to lose. It has been saved in a snapshot. Revert to snapshot to this other position. Click on it. Done. Close. You're gone. Blah blah. Just. Now in the same virtual machine. Okay. As I didn't do any changes, it didn't came in. But at this same moment, if I am going to take multiple snapshots, okay, let me power on it. At this state of click on go to option is called reverting of a snapshot.
Reverting means that we are going into the previous state.
You are going back to the previous state where, as you said, where the Windows 7 is there, right? That previous state where you are going, that is called reverting a snapshot. You are going back to your initial state, how your virtual machine was. If you are having only one snapshot, then it is easy. You have direct option, revert to current snapshot. But if you have multiple snapshots, then go to snapshot manager and select your snapshots. Okay, let me create few more snapshots.
Yeah, Shankar, one more thing, like you said that when we are reverting, all the files will be saved onto the new one, right? Saved onto the actual disk.
No, while reverting, the files will not be copied. If you are reverting, means you are losing all your data.
Okay.
Means it is going to erase all the new data.
Okay. If it is, if I like, for example, if I like Windows 8 and I want to continue on that, then what should I do?
Then what we'll do, that is the next level. So if you like Windows 8, then go to Snapshot Manager, select this snapshot and delete. Deleting a snapshot means it is just removing that state from your virtual machine, but all your new data will be as it is. You can test it this. Because I am not good in Ubuntu, but if you go to any Windows machine, create a snapshot. Now, after creating a snapshot, do some changes in this Windows, in any C drive, create some folder. If you have any Windows server here, Windows machine?
Yeah, Shankar.
Machine. Any Windows machine, let me know, we will do right away.
Yeah, that on the first drive you have like it's on my name, Praveen, that one. Praveen on 82.
It's on 82 now.
Yeah, it's Praveen Win2K81.
Is this machine having operating system installed?
Yeah.
Okay, then give me a couple of minutes. Let this power on. So now we are going to do a live demo of what will happen when you are deleting a snapshot, what will happen when you are reverting a snapshot.
And the password is welcome1, Shankar.
Okay.
Capital level.
Thanks, Praveen. I ignore it. Leave that as it. Okay, leave that as it. So hope you can see my screen now, right? Good. Now, this machine, whether it is having any snapshot now, whether this machine have any snapshot, no snapshot, and you are here. Now, I am going to take a snapshot. Test for revert snapshot. Taken by Shankar. Deleting after reverting the virtual machine. Yep. So now the snapshot progress is going on. Snapshot has been created. Yep. Now you go here. In your snapshot manager, you can see the snapshot which we had been created. Is it there? Yes. Now, I am going back to this server now. And in this C drive, creating new folders. So I had created new 3 folders. Inside one of the folder I created one more. So these 3 new folders has been created now, right? These are the new files and folders I had been added into. Am I right or not? Guys, respond back.
Yeah, Shankar.
That is the most important thing.
Yeah, Shankar.
Now, once that is done, I am going to revert the snapshot. What test we are going to do? Revert a snapshot. So while reverting a snapshot, right click, snapshot, snapshot manager, select, go to. Yes. And please be sure if you are going to revert a snapshot means your virtual machine will be going to powered off stage. So now I am going to power on this server again. Let us wait for the booting time. So once the boot up, so what I did now, reverted my snapshot. So according to my theory, if I'm reverting a snapshot means what are the new files or folders I had been added should be erased though. Let me log into this machine now again. So it is welcome one. Now, if you go to the C drive, is any of those files I created are there? Is those files are there?
No.
No. Means reverting a snapshot means it will erase all the new files. You got it? But now, I'm again going to create few folders. And now I am not going to revert the snapshot. I am going to delete my snapshot. Okay. So deleting a snapshot, here you can see this will consolidate and remove all snapshots for this virtual machine. And all the snapshot will be consolidated to a single disk. What does it mean? All the data on your snapshot disk will be consolidated and copied to your original single disk. That is your virtual machine.vmdk. It is asking, do you want to continue? Yes. Let the deletion process will complete. Remove all snapshots. Now snapshot is deleted. So if you want, I can close this and I can come back again to see it. According to me, the file should be there. If those files are still there, if those files are there, yes, means deleting a snapshot means it will copy all those files from the snapshot files to your single disk, which is your virtual machine's original disk, and only the snapshot will be deleted. Now if you go to the snapshot manager, there is no snapshot, but your files will be still there. But if you are reverting a snapshot means all the newly added files will be erased though. Why I am keep on using erase means I don't want to say delete, then you will get confused. What is delete snapshot? What is revert snapshot? So reverting a snapshot means erasing of all the data. Deleting a snapshot means copy all these new files to your original disk and remove the snapshot. Are you guys clear?
Yes, Shankar. Shankar, I just got one doubt.
Yes.
Like, once we created the snapshot and we reverted that, still we can find that snapshot in there, right, in the list.
Exactly. You are just reverting a snapshot. You are not deleting a snapshot.
And
So
we can't. And we can't, if we can't delete that, like I don't want that.
After reverting the snapshot, you can delete it.
All right, the file, if we delete that, the files will not be copying onto the previous disk from the.
Exactly. If we are doing first revert and delete means all the files will be
erased, and the snapshot will be deleted.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
You're clear now? Is everyone clear now? I want not only one person. Is everyone clear now?
Yeah, Shankar, I'm clear.
Yeah, Shankar. Shankar, I just wanted to see in the data store when you actually take a snapshot, it creates. You mentioned it creates a hyphen, some numeric value 1, VMDK, and when you do some changes again to that active file system, then it will create another VMDK, right?
Exactly. Snapshot there now, no, right? So I'm creating a snapshot again now. I will show you. So really, this is how I always need a class. Once you become an active guy, then I also will be happy. So you are getting more and more inputs from me now. Once you are not asking any questions, that's it. So the snapshot is created. Now let me move to the folder. Before moving to this folder, which data store this belongs
to? Shankar, where the files will be saved?
Yep, that's what I am going to talk about now. Look at here. This is your files now. Am I right? Once you are creating new data, the new data will be saved in this VMDK. And this virtual machine, till the snapshot will be there, the virtual machine can't see this list because can't see this, sorry, not can't see this, can't write, because this VMDK now changed to read-only mode. The original VMDK, virtual machine.vmdk file will be changing to read-only mode. Let me show you this. It's really annoying. It's not bad, so is there something, any logs here? I need some file, some data file here.
So can, instead of coming there and deleting the clone, sorry, not the clone, snapshot, can we just go and delete that file? Will that also work?
No.
What will happen if you do that?
See, you are not going to do anything inside the guest operating system. Everything you are, whatever, see, you are a VM administrator. You are not an OS administrator. So your way of thinking, everything will be from outside the operating system. It's not something I'm not looking for. I'm looking for something. Okay, now it is adding up 7.63 MB of data. Okay, leave it. Keep that one. What is the size here? 6.97. And now, if you refresh it, did you see any change here? The size of
Yeah.
PMDK remains the same. It will be remaining the same because it is only read only. The original virtual machine in this case, read only. I am keep on reiterating it. The original virtual machine disk is just read only. Are you guys getting? And if you have any doubts regarding snapshots, you can ask me right away.
Yeah, Shankar, you said that when we do any changes, we'll be getting one more file stating that delta.vmdk, right?
Yeah.
One, yeah.
Delta, actually it is supposed to be added up. Let me just think about it. Just give me a moment. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, the naming convention has been changed here. Okay, so this is the virtual machine snapshot database. Okay, so this one is inside this file. This is called, as I said, this should be the database file. The delta, this is called the delta disk, and this is called the delta database or the snapshot database. So what this will consist of is, this database will consist of, okay, this virtual machine is having one disk, now two disks, two snapshot delta disks.
Okay, it won't display as a delta disk. Instead of that, it gives a number for that and then VMDK, right?
Yep. So once you are enabling change block traffic, that is called CBT. Means if you're going to do replication, or if you are going to do, what to say, like taking an image backup, means like Avamar or vRanger or Veeam, using a third-party tool, if you are doing an image backup or a replication of a virtual machine, then what it will do is, like, in addition to VMSD, it will create that delta file. That virtual machine -delta.vmdk. Are you getting it? That delta is being used for CBT, the technology called. CBT means change block traffic. So it will analyze what are the new changes has been happened, and those new changes alone will be saved in that virtual disk. Are you guys getting it? Yes or no?
Yeah, Shankar. So the delta file, what would that snapshot compare it to? Whether it would compare it to the -001 VMDK, or whether it would compare it with the 002 VMDK?
See, now it has two snapshots. Always it will take from the latest one, means 0002.
Okay. No, I was talking about when you are saying that, you know, for Amaras or image backup, in order for it to copy the delta over for replication purposes, it would create another delta.vmdk, right?
Yeah, it will always look for the latest snapshot.
Latest snapshot and compare it. Okay.
Any other doubts, guys?
Shankar, one more question, Shankar. Say for example, now you have made some changes and it created a 002, right, with numerical value. See, after some time you make another change, make another change. Would it create another snapshot 003, or would it append it to the?
No. Sorry, then if you think about that aspect, just leave that stuff. After taking a change, it didn't create it. I created a second snapshot. Ignore that stuff. Okay, I'm just editing that one. I'm just to give you guys an idea. I did that one. Okay. See, this is how it looks like. I created a snapshot. I did a change. It is only one disk. That is 001. Ignore the second one. That is one which I tried to do to manually enable a TBT, which didn't happen. Okay, it will always do 0001 on this. If you are doing a change, means it will never create a new disk. Only
Yes, Shankar,
a new disk
from this I
created. If you are creating a snapshot, then it will create a new disk file. That's it.
Okay.
From this, Shankar, I came to know that at a time we can create multiple snapshots, but it's not a good practice, right?
Yes, exactly. You can create n number of snapshots.
But it's not a good thing. Yeah.
Again, what you are creating n number of snapshot means, just remember my diagram. Just leave this diagram. Let me create a new one. I'll show you. Thanks for bringing that thing. This is my virtual machine. And my original size of my virtual machine is 50 GB. And this part is snapshot 1. In the snapshot 1 stage, I have changed a size of 5 GB data. This is going to be my snapshot 2. And I'm going to change a 7 GB of data. Snapshot 3, a 4 GB of data. Again, in snapshot 4 also, I'm doing a 4 GB of data. Now, let us think, see, the total provision size before creating a snapshot is 50 GB. But after I created 4 snapshots, now when after this part, the total size provision space will be 50 plus 5, which is equal to 55 GB of data. When it will be till this stage, till snapshot 1, the total size from the data store will be 55. But when it comes to this stage, snapshot 2, the total size will be not 50 plus 7. It will be 50 plus 5 plus 7. So it is going to take 62 GB of data. And when it comes to the third one, so now I want you guys to say, what will be the total size when it is in the snapshot 3 stage? Sandeep, I want an answer from you. What should be the size, total provision size from the data store when it is in snapshot 3? Just add everything, 50 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4. Simple mathematics, right?
66.
Yeah. So this is the difficult part. So now the last one.
70.
Okay, 70 GB. So now you understand. Even though in this snapshot you did only 4 GB, but what was the total size it took from here to here? 20 GB. So you are going to waste 20 GB of your data store capacity. Is it really needed? No. So please be sure, take a snapshot, do the change. Once the change got completed means check whether the testing is successful or not. If testing is successful, delete the snapshot. If testing is not successful, then revert the snapshot. Hope everyone got the idea how the snapshot will grow and how much size of space it will take from the data store also from this particular diagram. Any doubt? And also I would request Avinash, kindly mute your system until you have any doubt. So Praveen said it's fine. So how about others? Just give your comments on the chat box. Okay. How about Anil and Sudeep? Come on, go ahead, guys. We doesn't have enough time to go in.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Sandeep, come on. Just give your response.
Yes,
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. I've seen your response. So now we are closing up the chapter snapshots. Hope everyone is good. So as I had created multiple snapshots, I am going to delete it because we had completed our class. Yeah, now snapshot creation is complete. Okay, let me ask you another question. So now what's my criteria? If your testing is getting completed in a day or less, then I will use snapshot as my backup policy. Let me ask you another question. Like, I need a backup of my virtual machine and I need it for a week of time or a 15 days of time. And I am least bothered about the storage space. At this moment, I have an option which can be considered as a permanent backup. And this technology is called cloning. Cloning is a process of taking a copy of your virtual machine. It is not taking a copy of your virtual machine disk, hard disk. Cloning is a process of taking a copy of your whole virtual machine And it is also be considered as a new virtual machine. It is not to be considered as a new disk. Let me first show you the practical case, then we will go to the theoretical part. Now I am going to take a clone. Right click a virtual machine, go to clone. Now you have to follow all the process which you will be doing when you are creating a new virtual machine. So now I am going to give a valid name, Praveen underscore win, like how you create a new virtual machine. Once you are creating a new virtual machine means you will give enter a valid name, right? So now I am just mentioning it as underscore clone to ensure, like if someone comes and like they will understand this is such a clone. Here you have to select the host where it needs to be, which storage it needs to be. That's it. It is similar to creation of a virtual machine, but creating of a new virtual machine means it doesn't have all your previous data. But cloning a virtual machine means you are taking an exact backup of the virtual machine. You are not taking a backup of your virtual disk. Means you are not taking a backup of your hard disk. You are taking a backup of your entire virtual machine. Here,
Shankar?
the answer of Avinash. Just give me some time. I will give you time for asking questions. Here, what will happen is like earlier Avinash asked, like there it might be in a what is the creating of all the virtual machine files, right? When you are creating a clone of a virtual machine means it will create all the virtual machine files. It will create a VMX file, it will create NVRAM, it will create a VSWP, it will create VMX, it will create all the data. And cloning of a virtual machine is not an easy process. First, what it will do is it will copy all the virtual machine files. So here you can see the current stage. It will copy all the virtual machine files, not just a disk. So now, if I am going to this data store, did I did here or there in some other folder? When
You did that in local disk 1?
Okay, did I create in local disk 1?
It was still creating.
Yep, it is still creating. And as I said, cloning is just creating an entire copy of your virtual machine. So it will definitely take more time. So I am just going to do cloning of this powered of virtual machine. This may give me some less time. Oh. I am looking for something with no operating system. Yes. Because without an operating system, it will be a bit fast. See, after the file scoping, it's configuration everything. So now there is it's like a new virtual machine. A clone of a machine means you are creating a new virtual machine, and that particular machine should have its own files, all the virtual machine files. This is your original virtual machine. This is a clone virtual machine. So cloning means you are creating a copy of your existing virtual machine. And this can be considered as a permanent backup. Are you guys getting? And the cloning, during the cloning process, it will copy all the virtual machine files. It will copy the VMX file, it will copy the VMX.lck, it will copy the VMSD, it will copy the NVRAM, it will copy blah, 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 all the stuff. What are available in your current virtual machine? In my this VM, I only have these 4 files. Hence, my clone also have these 4 files. But at the same time, let us take some time and let this process will complete. Then you will see all these files. All these files under this disk, right? Everything will be created in this VM also. Exactly same. Only difference will be the name will be this name underscore clone. And this one will not be available with vmx.lck because it will not be powered on. Except LCK, all other files will be available. Are you guys clear? Let us wait for some time. Once this cloning gets complete, we will do the rest of the stuff. And what will happen during a cloning? Cloning means first stage what it will do. At the cloning process, during the first 20%, it will take a snapshot. And this is a temporary snapshot. And this snapshot will be, if you are clicking here, you can see. During a cloning, it will create a temporary snapshot. And this temporary snapshot will be automatically deleted. You don't need to do anything. So now there is a snapshot while the cloning process is going on. Once the cloning is completed, this snapshot will be deleted automatically, which I can show you again here. Clone, give some machine name, select a host, next, 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 finish. See, right now, if we go here, see. Okay, it's a powered off machine, sorry. You have to take powered on one. You have to take a powered on one. Why it is in powered off machine, no snapshot is getting created? It is because in a powered off machine, there will not be no files which will be written newly. Am I right? Why snapshot has been created? You have to move back to the previous state. So in a powered off machine, you can't write any new file. So there will not be any snapshot while doing a cloning. But when you are doing a cloning of a powered on machine, then there will be a temporary snapshot will be created during cloning, and this snapshot will be deleted automatically. Yes, this temporary snapshot will be deleted automatically. Let us wait for some time for this state, for the snapshot of Praveen, and let's see cloning process whether this snapshot is available or not. And look at this, you can't revert this snapshot because this snapshot was not created by you or me. This was a snapshot created by VMware. So you can't delete the snapshot, you can't revert the snapshot. Only these operations can be done by ESXi, and it will be done by automatic. Let us wait for another 10 to 15 minutes to complete this cloning. In between time, I need to explain a couple of theoretical stuff. Cloning is of two types. One is called hot cloning and the other one is called cold cloning. What is hot cloning? If you are clone a virtual machine when a virtual machine is in powered on state, like how we did for Praveen Win2K_01. This is called hot cloning. What will happen in hot cloning? During hot cloning, the first stage will be creating a temporary snapshot, which means the clone will take, okay, this is the state or this is the point of time which I have to take a backup. And whatever changes happening after initiating that temporary snapshot will not be backed up. The backup will be happen only till the temporary snapshot will be created. Then, what is cold snapshot or cold cloning? Cold cloning is taking a clone of a virtual machine when it is in powered off state. During powered off state, there will not be any new changes. So, there will not be any temporary snapshot will be created. So, how many types of cloning are there? Two types of cloning, hot cloning and cold cloning. Hot cloning means taking a clone of a virtual machine when a virtual machine is in powered on state. During hot cloning, there will be a temporary snapshot which will be created at the point of time when you are creating a clone. And there is another state called cold cloning. Cold cloning is the process of creating a clone when a virtual machine is in powered off state. At this stage, no additional process, just copying all the virtual machine files to the new data store. Now come up with your questions. Do you have any queries? I will briefly explain you. Any queries? Till the cloning of Praveen's machine completes, we have to wait.
The cloning can be created in a different host?
Yes. Cloning can be created in different hosts, different data store.
Okay.
Now clone for virtual machine Praveen has been completed. Now I am going to snapshot. The ESXi host has been deleted and it will happen in the background automatically because the snapshot was created by ESXi host as a temporary one. Then the snapshot will be deleted by the ESXi host automatically after the cloning has completed. Now let us see what are the files which has been created for this. As I said, all the virtual machine files has been created. Why NVRAM is not there? Because this virtual machine is not in, means the cloned virtual machine is not in powered on state. The cold virtual machine doesn't have lock because it is not in register. But if I am powering on this, let it power on. Now this virtual machine is getting powered on. So after the virtual machine is getting powered on, see. Now you can see all these files, VRAM, VMSC, VMX, AVM, CellC, all this stuff. So it should be exactly the replica of your original machine. And also it will consist of all the virtual machine files, right? It will consist of all the virtual machine files. So cloning is a process of taking a permanent backup or copying of all the virtual machine files from your current copy. And how many types of cloning were there? Two types of cloning. What are those? Hot cloning and cold cloning. What is hot cloning? Hot cloning is a process of creating a cloning when the virtual machine is in powered on state. And what is cold cloning? Cold cloning is a powered off state. What will happen when a hot cloning? During a hot cloning, there will be a temporary snapshot will be created, and this snapshot will be deleted automatically once the cloning process will complete. During the cold cloning, nothing, it will just copy all the virtual machine files to the new data store. And during cloning process, as you asked, you can select any host or any data store. There is no dependency for you. Okay, now you can ask any questions. I am pretty much going to wrap up my session, so you can ask any queries. I will reply to you, then I will close the session.
Yes, Shankar, I just want to know that, like, for example, if I want to create 5 Windows VMs, and if I create one VM and I install Windows in that, and can I take 5 different clones of them and give to 5 different people?
You can take 5 different clones of it and you can give it to it. But before giving a clone of a virtual machine, please be sure there will be an IP conflict.
Okay.
So before powering on a virtual machine, do your changes in your network adapter. Go to the edit settings, uncheck the network adapter to connected, then go to the virtual machine, change your IP address, then give it to them. That is one method. Who asked this question? Praveen, right?
Yeah, Shankar.
Praveen, but this is not how we are going to do. We have a dedicated technology called virtual machine templates, and this we are going to discuss on Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday, then I am going to take a different session, and that Saturday I am going to give you a class about virtual machines from a single VM.
Okay. And
I
one
will
more.
give you a detailed explanation of that. So at present, don't ever consider cloning it. But creating a template is also cloning of a virtual machine. But there are a few more additional add-ons were there. I will give you a detailed explanation.
Then what is the use of cloning, Shankar, in real time?
Cloning is to take a backup of a virtual machine at a particular moment. See, template means you have only operating system installed on it, and you are creating multiple virtual machines with that operating system. Cloning means I have an operating system, I had installed n number of applications into it. After having n number of applications, and the operating system is stable. But now I am going to do some change on my application, and I am going to do a rigorous test for 1 week or 2 weeks. For at that moment, I need a backup of this particular virtual machine. Means this particular server alone. In order to have a backup of that particular virtual machine with all the applications installed on that virtual machine, cloning is used. But when it comes to template means, you will have a standard operating system, and you are going to give that standard operating system to create multiple virtual machines. There comes the need of a template. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, Shankar. And one more thing, like if I took a cloning of my VM and made some changes in that, for example, adding some files and everything, and after a week and all, I can delete that VM, but I cannot migrate this data into the old VM, right?
No, both are unique VMs.
Okay.
If you do a change in your original VM, the change will be there. If you are doing a change in your clone, means the change will be only available in the clone. It is not like a snapshot.
Okay. Okay, Shankar, thank you.
Yeah. Any question, guys? Avinash, Anil, Praveen, Sandeep. Shoot your questions right away. Any questions, guys?
Okay, I have just one question. What if,
Definitely. Go ahead.
it's kind of a rare scenario when you created a clone, not exactly clone. You've taken a snapshot and you've done your changes and you're deleting your snapshot. What happens at that point? Your system gets hung or something?
Yeah, that's really a valid question. Normally, the system will not get hung or a freeze state, but VMware had a recommendation. VMware recommends not to take a snapshot of a virtual machine having more than 1 TB of size. So if you are taking a snapshot of a virtual machine of more than 1 TB of size, in very rare few scenarios, your virtual machine will go in a freeze mode, as you mentioned. But that is a very, very rare scenario, even the same thing which you mentioned. And that will happen only if your virtual machine size is more than 1 TB. And that freezing will happen only if you are doing a delete option. So are you clear now?
Yeah, so what happens at that scenario? I mean, will the
So
VM
you
get
have to
corrupted?
wait. You can't do anything. Once you are click on delete snapshot means you have to wait till the time the snapshot has been deleted. You can't do anything.
Okay. So, but if the
It will be an outage. It will be an outage for your business.
Okay. But what if you force it and if you say cancel or something? What will happen?
You can't.
You don't get an option to cancel.
Even if I am saying a cloning stuff, I'm clicking on cancel. So it is not cancelling, but now it is grayed out. You can't cancel a data store migration, a deletion of snapshot, a cloning process. Because once it's initiated means it is initiated.
Okay.
This is be theoretical because you guys are new to VMware. But if you ask me as an infrastructure solution guy, I will say I can cancel it. But you can't do it. If you have a thorough knowledge of ESXi and if you know SSH, you know all the commands of VMware, then you can do it. Not in this GUI mode. You have to go to PuTTY, then you have to go n number of commands to cancel it, which at this moment you consider you can't cancel.
Okay.
Once
No, my question was
5 or 6 years of experience, then you will come up with a solution of how to cancel it.
yes. I mean, my question is if you cancel it abruptly, will that corrupt your VM?
First of all, as I said, you can't cancel it. That's it. There is no further discussion. I am saying you can't cancel it.
Okay.
There is not even an option to cancel it. See, once you're having an option to cancel it, then you have to think whether it will corrupt or not. Here there is not even an option or there is not even a call of cancel this operation. Then you don't want to bother about it, right? Whether virtual machine will corrupt or not. Hope I answered your question.
It says cancelled by a user.
No, you can't.
No, I mean, what is that?
Yeah, this has been done. This is different. You can't cancel a snapshot deletion.
Okay.
If you have the lab setup, you test it out 1,000 times, 10,000 times, or 1,00,000 times. Test it in our environment. And come back to me and say. But again, I'm saying if that snapshot process has to be gone beyond 35%, because till 35% it is not doing any deletion. It is first copying those files. So during that stage, it may be like here, see, this clone process has been cancelled because that process is less than 65%. So there is an alternate software there, which I can't disclose now. So I want to disclose those in depth, like what will happen till 5%, till 10%, till 15%. Then it will take me minimum 1 day to explain what is a snapshot. And I need 1 whole day to explain cloning, and which is not practically possible. Okay. So click on delete snapshot, wait for 2 or 3 minutes and see if the process reaches above 50%, and then try to cancel. I am telling you, you can't cancel it. That is theory. Okay. Any more questions or any other doubts regarding the same question?
Nope.
So anyone? I'm not asking only about Anil. Everyone.
No, Shankar.
Avinash? Avinash and Sandeep, at least respond on the chat box, even if you are not talking on.
No, Shankar, I don't have any question.
Yeah, cool. So the only person who is not even responding. Okay, thank you, Avinash. Okay, thank you guys. Literally, thanks for your interactive session today. Literally, I like that, and I really need this kind of sessions in future, so that it will be helpful for both of us. It will be productive for me, and also it will be productive for you to gather more information or collecting more data from me. So thank you guys. Good night. Sweet dreams. Bye-bye.